LGBTQ community here on AM 990 KWAM Talk Radio. We're at the core principles of education, empowerment, and enrichment. So we have in the studio with us
the empowerment event.
No, we're just gonna we'll pick that up on our last minute.
Okay.
How about that?
That's my boo thing singing on the radio.
Make sure we get all of our questions in for our special guests in the studio.
That's my boo thing.
We have Pasha Cook in the studio.
Hello, hello, hello.
So before we took
Pasha, I call her Portia.
See
what I'm talking about? See what I'm talking about?
So, Pasha, we want to dive into some questions real quick and just let everybody know exactly what you're doing. So when we were downstairs, you were telling me that you have a couple of things that you do, and you definitely want to expound on those things. And one is you're beyond sports, and then the other one, help me out.
So it's I go and I talk to athletes.
Okay.
Right. Being a athlete myself and having all these transitions where I dropped out of school, and then after I finished up at University of Memphis, I was preparing to go to the WNBA to try out, and then I ended up with an injury, my actual fourth injury, tore my ACL, and it was kind of over from then because I didn't want to take my body through that, so I went through transition again. And after that, it's like, well, what's beyond basketball for me? Because that was the thing I had been doing all my life. And many athletes go through this phase and they never figure out, well, what's next for them. Because most people think that, well, if you're not playing, you're going to be coaching or you're going to be doing something in sports. But not everyone wants to go back. I didn't want to go back and be a coach because if I wasn't on the court, I don't want to be on the sideline. I don't like the sideline. I don't like how it feels. So I went through this transition for years trying to figure out, well, what's my purpose now? And now what I do is I go back. I'll be at University of Memphis on Monday at the Hall of Fame, speaking to student athletes about transferable skills, letting them know what you have gained as an athlete, you know, those attributes that you can take into anything that you do and become successful. I've done it, other people have done it, and now we need to start talking to these kids about seeing themselves outside of what they do. Because even as adults, sometimes we hold ourselves accountable to what we do, but that's not who we are, right? You have other attributes. So I do that, and then I do empowerment speaking, which is to youth and to women mostly, where I want to encourage you and empower you to seek that thing that you want to become, to seek your purpose, to not hold yourself accountable to who you used to be or where somebody else is trying to hold you accountable to. Like, know that you have a gift, and the world is void if you don't try to seek that gift out, because we need it.
Let me bless you real quick.
Bless me.
You are a coach.
Yeah. Not a sports coach.
You are a sports coach because you're teaching athletes how to train their mind.
He just likes to argue, right? Is that what it is?
No, I'm saying,
no, that's good.
You said you were not a coach, but you are a coach. You teaching athletes how to train their minds to figure out what's next in their life.
Absolutely.
So you are the coach.
I usually say practitioner or consultant because with athletes we have this thing called athletic identity. And many times, like say for instance, I'm going to University of Memphis or I go to speak to a sports team. Coaches don't want someone that considers themselves a coach in their player's ear. There's only one coach. You know how they go. It's an ego thing.
Right.
So we say practitioner or consultant. But yeah.
Well, you're a consultant then.
There we go. There we go.
And it's funny, a lot of people looking for what's next in their life.
Yeah, so it's transition. So we talk about intentional transitioning. Like when you transition, having a purpose to that thing, mapping it out, having a goal. So I help them with that, and I walk them through their milestones, and we get there. So I do that with women, and I do that with athletes. I hold athletes dear to my heart because I play sports. So I want to go back and give back to the athletes, of course.
Well, definitely. I think that's great. You know, because we're both ex-athletes, Davian and myself. So
I was a current athlete.
Yeah, he still plays.
Once an athlete, always an athlete.
Yeah, definitely.
Child, these Achilles toe up. I can't do nothing.
That's what you get for making fun of my knees. So I think that's great, and I think that's phenomenal, and it's so needed in the world because I remember, you know, kind of out there trying to figure out exactly what my purpose was, and like you know, I always knew that I was gifted. My friend Robert there. But I just didn't know how to put it together. And just, you know, I thank God that I became exposed to a lot of information. And at that time, I was ready to receive it because I've been exposed to it once, but I wasn't ready yet. And I didn't absorb anything. and then it came full circle again because I think the Spirit was really trying to wake me up and let me know, and knocking, let me know that, hey, it's something you're supposed to be doing. But in your personal development, how has that added, which I know, to your personal success, and you tie these things in together? So to get there, what you're trying to do with the athletes, you teach them personal development, but for yourself, I just want you to share your own story a little bit with people so that they can see themselves maybe through you.
Okay, so with my personal development, I think it really picked up in my early 30s, where I started to, well, first of all, which in some people's mind, you know, they don't want to hear it, but I actually started to see a therapist, and just to iron some stuff out. And she had me to read a book by Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now. And that really changed my life. That started me to thinking differently, to seeing myself differently. I started to meditate. Moving to New York, I started to participate in yoga. So doing all these things that helped my mind, right? And they brought me down and made me more aware of things, and made me pay attention to more of the present and what's going on. And that development helped me to actually launch more into my purpose, because the fear didn't hold me back anymore, right? And so that's what it's been for me. And I think that once you start to work on your person, and don't be afraid to go seek the help that you need. You don't have to be crazy or going mad to seek therapy. It's healthy for you. Sometimes you need somebody in your life that you can talk to. Sometimes we get on the phone and we don't really have a lot to say. You know, we may have an hour session and we may be finished in 30 minutes, but you need to have somebody that you can kind of talk to that doesn't have a motive, or you don't think, you know, to clear out some things in your life. And that helped me tremendously. I started to work on myself. I started to see myself different. I started to gain courage. And now you can't tell me nothing.
Ooh, really?
Like, yeah, you can't tell me anything about me.
Funny you say that. That's the number one principle of all these empowerments, transformational, all the above teaching. You have to spend time and work on yourself. In the words of my mentor that I never met, Les Brown, stop being a volunteer victim to life. And people don't realize in relationships and everything, you have to spend prime time with yourself. And if you don't know yourself, how the hell are you going to do anything or change?
Some people, it's hard for them to know themselves.
You got to empower yourself and stand up for yourself. And don't get me started. And you got to tell yourself, you got what it takes to make this thing work. It's in you.
But it's work. And that's what people are afraid of.
It's work.
It's
work.
Just because I can sit here and tell you how to do this and do that, doesn't mean I don't struggle.
Well,
we all gonna struggle, you know.
Absolutely.
We have a mantra that we say to each other when I see Davian is like going too far to the left. I have to tell him, you have to stay in transformational mode, and that's what we always remind each other when we see each other kind of slipping a little bit, because it is, and it's every day. And I tell people all the time, I'm fully vested, and I live purposefully with myself and changing all the time, and I'm always looking for new information, and I'm always out there searching to connect, because you know it's out there, the universe is out there, and nothing that we get or receive is new. It's just people passing it on to us, and it's for us to pass it on to other people. And I do that with Robert a lot. When he called me and he talked and he want to run stuff by me and bounce it off me. And like we talked the other day about having mentors, and I'm a mentor, and I have mentors, and I have mentors, virtual mentors. And you know, you just get it, and every day, I mean every day, it's like my commitment to me, my commitment about doing what I know I need to do for for my life, because I haven't always had this focus and this intention before.
Right.
And now that I got it and I understand that that's all I had to do was get in line with the universe and open up and receive and just start searching, because if you ask, you will get the answers. Ask and you will receive. That's so true.
Well, let me tell you this. Just because you ask and get in line and get your therapist and get your mentor, does not mean that Murphy Law will not come sit right there beside you
Les,
and knock you down.
I hear you, Les.
Opposition is expected, and it's not gonna go smoothly.
No.
But this is the best thing about it.
But you know this.
No, you know this, but most people don't know this. If the disciples was on a boat with Jesus when the storm was raging, before they got on the boat, Jesus healed people. He fed thousands. He did all that. They saw this, so they were on the boat. The storm raged. The disciples went crazy. After they just witnessed this man feed thousands of people.
And he on the boat.
And he on the boat sleep. And they going crazy. You just saw these miracles. They went down there and woke him up and said, Master, get up. It's storm. We're about to die. Jesus walked out on the boat and said, peace be still. My point is this. It's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. Okay, I'm done.
So, you brought up Les Brown. He became my mentor, and he's a friend of mine.
Look here, tell Les Brown, I've been knocking on his door.
Been tweeting.
And he would not answer my call. Tell him I'm hungry.
That man stay busy.
I love me some Les Brown.
Yeah, I got some videos with him, and that's so funny because it was about being courageous enough and listening to what's the voice inside of you. And I called and I emailed and I got him on the phone, and he came to New York. He came to New York maybe not even a month later. And I was able to sit down with him, and he was coaching me. We talked, and I mean, it was phenomenal to be in this
Man, that
presence.
man is awesome.
I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get him.
Well, see, he's out with Les Brown. I'm after Lisa Newton.
I'm gonna get him.
Oh yeah, I hadn't met Lisa yet. But
Well, I was supposed to go to California this year, but life, you know.
Yeah.
So I said, well, I know I'm going next year. I'm going to speak right.
Yeah.
I am going.
Take me with you.
Let's go. I mean, let's get ready. She should be putting out her schedule soon. So it's like 3 or 4 days. I'm going. I will be there, baby.
But tell the people how important it is to stay committed to your commitment, and how hard it is to make your dream come true. It's not easy. Talk to them about that, please.
It's going to be very uncomfortable.
Absolutely.
but see, and that's why it's important that you have the right people in your environment.
Mm-hmm.
Right, the right people that believe in you, because there are going to be moments you don't believe in yourself.
Absolutely.
But you have to have those people around you that are going to believe in you beyond your belief sometimes.
Right.
And then vice versa. Don't have people in your circle that's just depending on you to always give them a word and always inspire them. But I do believe in, as you climb, you must lift.
Yes.
Right.
You can't lift dead weight though.
Yes.
You
right.
know, some people you got to leave behind and come back, but
absolutely,
it's every day, because you're gonna get no's. You're gonna get people that tell you no.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna think that you're gonna be doing something like going out to California, and then something happens and you can't go.
Yeah.
But understand that this entity is working for you, and
Mm-hmm.
when you're able to just be still, not be still and say, well, I'm waiting on God and I'm just gonna sit here on my couch every day. You know, just keep walking towards that thing. Keep working, keep mapping, keep planning. The plan is going to change. And then when you've done everything you can, know that it's in the works.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you put it all out there, you got to be willing to let it go. I do manifestation exercises, actually. And what that is like, I'll write down, I started off with a list of 3. Well, I want to see a sunflower. I want to see a pink balloon. Like really simple things, a certain kind of bird. And I'll write them down and I'll focus on them and then I'll let them go. And whenever I notice that thing, I can go back in my notes and see how long it took me to manifest that.
Mm-hmm.
And you start off doing that exercise and you just keep doing it with little bitty things. And you'll start to notice that whatever you focus on,
mm-hmm.
it comes to you.
It does.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're trying, like if I say, for instance, if I say, well, I want to see this pink balloon and I just keep looking for them everywhere I go,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not allowing
Right.
that to happen. And it's about focusing on where you're going, putting in the steps, and knowing that every day that you get up, you got to be working towards that goal.
You have to have a vision. You have to write the vision for your life. You have to develop a spiritual practice daily. In the Bible, it said, be still, know that I'm God. You have to, sometimes you got to take your hands off of things. Do your part, but take your hands off and stop worrying about things that God has already manifested and placed in you before you even born. It was in you.
Yeah. I know. I listened to Michael Beckman, and he made a statement that as soon as you have a problem, the solution already exists for the problem out there. So we always have problems, and they come. But as soon as we have a problem or somebody come in and disrupt something, the solution comes with it, like it comes right along. And so when we have something that kind of knocks us off, and I speak just in terms of our business, I don't worry about it too much because I know that the the energy is out there. And the energy that we're sending out, your manifestation, I call it my energy, is going to attract what I need to draw it to me and into exactly how we ordered it. It shows up. And I just love that. And then especially, Pasha, when you see the evidence of this working, it makes